welcome to Your Career, Your Choice, powered by Workforce Solutions. I'm Caitlin Espinosa. Ahead on today's show, we'll tell you just about everything you need to know to go work for yourself. From getting licensed to paying taxes, there's more to starting a business than just having a good idea or product. We'll talk with a serial entrepreneur to find out what you need to know to succeed. Plus, good business ideas won't go anywhere without the proper financing. We'll introduce you to a local loan program that can help you get connected to the money you need. And women and minorities face many hurdles to starting and running a business. Find out how getting a City of Houston certification can help you out. Small businesses in the United States created more than 10.5 million jobs during the first 20 years of the 21st century, nearly double the job creation of large firms. That's according to the U.S. Small Business Administration, but not every small business has employees. Those companies are classified as non-employers and make up 8 out of every 10 businesses operating in America today. In 2017, the most recent year data is available, more than 1 million small businesses were created, with about 13% classified as a startup or first-time business. The SBA also says that only about 2 out of every 3 new small businesses survive more than 2 years. So what does it take to beat the odds and run a successful small business? Joining me right now is Willie Verbuge, chair of SCORE Houston, a national nonprofit that helps mentor small business owners. Willie, thank you for taking the time to be with us today.
You're welcome, Jessica.
All right, so let's learn more about SCORE Houston. Can you tell us a little bit about their background and what they offer?
SCORE is a non-profit organization with 12,000 volunteers in the United States.
Okay.
We're organized in 300 chapters in all the big cities. And of course, the best and biggest chapters here in Houston. We have 160 volunteers, and we help every year between 7,000 to 8,000 companies to start up, to grow, to prosper, and even to export.
Wow, wonderful. So I understand you're originally from Belgium and you've been the CEO of 6 major corporations. So how do you go from that to now you're here located in Houston and you're a chairman for SCORE Houston?
I'm an international guy. I love Houston. It's the best city in the best country in the best universe.
We like to hear that.
No, but we have a very good mentality, very good attitude here towards business. We try to make it as simple as possible. From the state, from the city, from the Great Houston Partnership, from everybody around. There's a good mentality to start your business here.
Okay, wonderful. Now, if someone's thinking of starting a business on their own, what are some personality traits or your recommendations or someone needs to have before they can actually do that?
You have to be courageous.
Okay.
You have to be perseverant. You need to know a lot of things. You need to have an open mind, talk to a lot of people, be a good networker. You have to use your brain, use your heart, and your attitude. Those are the fundamentals.
So besides those personality traits for a good entrepreneur, what are some of the key first steps you need in order to start a business?
Plan, plan, plan.
Okay.
The more you plan in advance, the less mistakes you make later. So it starts with the business plan itself. What are you trying to do? How are you going to structure yourself? Legal structure. Who's the owner? Do you need facilities? Do you need a warehouse? Do you need a shop? All these details go into the business plan itself. The second part is the marketing plan. Who are your customers? How do you identify market segments? The more you are specific, the better your chance of success, because every market segment will have its own channel of penetrating and its own message to the clients. And then the third one, and the most important from the bank or the VCs, is if they give you a loan or some money, how are you going to repay them over a period of 2-3 years? So that's cash flow projection.
Okay.
Make sure you have those numbers, those financial numbers ready before you go and talk to the banks.
Okay, so here in Texas, we're considered a friendly state for businesses. So what are the steps you have to take through the state? How do you register to have your own business?
You need 3 fundamental things. You need a unique name for your business so that there's no problem with legals at any point in time. Nobody can sue you for whatever. Second, you need a legal structure. You need an EIN number from the IRS, okay. Enterprise Identification Number, because they like to tax you. And the third one, a legal structure or a DBA, and you can file that in the local county where you work, or an LLC. You have to find that with the state of Texas, or an SRC corporation, which is probably usually much later on in the process, but that's also with the state of Texas.
Okay, wonderful. So in addition to registering with the state, you can also register with the City of Houston's Mayor's Office of Business Opportunity, which gives you access to additional benefits.
The Office of Business Opportunity is committed to cultivating an inclusive and diverse economic environment for our small, minority, and women-owned businesses. The office in itself has a business development team, a certification team, and a contract compliance team. And through all those components, we are working for the small, minority, and women-owned business community. All our certifications you apply online at houston.mwdbe.com. Once you do apply online and turn in the supporting documents with the online application, it's received in our office and we take you through what's called a screening process. That process just includes our team reviewing the application to make sure that we have all portions of it completed, as well as all affidavits notarized and all the documents or majority of the documents submitted, which is requested in the application. What we do once you're certified is you're entered into our online public directory where your information is available for primes or anyone else to find you and give you an opportunity to bid or just come directly to you to use your services. You can use that certification to leverage opportunities in Galveston and the 9 surrounding counties. So which means that you can be in one of those counties and get certified with the City of Houston as a MWSBE or PDBE. We do offer a pre-certification workshop that is every first and third Tuesday of each month at 2 o'clock. You do register for that on our OBO website. And that workshop covers everything about certification, from the process to the benefits, and answer any questions that the attendees may have. And so we do like to let our small business community know that those workshops are available. And if you're interested in certification, it is a good idea to attend that workshop.
All right, Willie, let's talk about what advice you can offer to folks who are starting a business and they want to make it past that 2-year time frame, because a lot of, is it 1/3 businesses tend not to make it past 2 years?
The best thing you can do is make sure you network a lot. You
Okay.
meet a lot of people in your field, but also in fields who are adjacent to yours, and have a mentor. Somebody that can watch over your shoulders and help you make decisions or correct mistakes that you've made or something like that. When you have a mentor that sticks with you, usually you have 70-80% more chance to succeed than without a mentor.
Okay, so you've offered us a lot of great advice. Any additional tips for someone who's on the fence of whether or not they want to start their own business or they've already started and got the ball rolling?
The biggest thing that we see is a lot of entrepreneurs are very strong in one field, but not in another field.
Okay.
So you need to be able to develop the capacity in 5 fundamental fields. One is your products, how you deliver your product, your service in time, in quality, and in cost. Second is your sales and marketing. Always make sure that your funnel of opportunities is full. Third one is your team, your culture, your organization. Make sure that everybody understands what their role is and how they communicate with each other, and that works well. The fourth one is use your financials, review your financials on a regular basis and use them to analyze your business. What's going right, what's going wrong, and make decisions based on that, based on numbers. And the last one is look 5 years ahead of you and make sure that you understand and you have very clear where you want to be in 5 years from now. Because if you don't know that, you'll never get there.
Yes. Well, thank you, Willie. That has been fantastic insights for our viewers.
Pleasure.
I appreciate it.
Right.
Good business ideas won't go anywhere without the proper financing. When we come back, we'll introduce you to the Houston-Galveston Area Council Small Business Development Activities, and they can help you get the capital you need for your business idea and get it off the ground. And women are now responsible for nearly half of all new businesses over the last 2 years. We'll tell you about a local nonprofit helping female entrepreneurs succeed. You're watching Your Career, Your Choice, powered by Workforce Solutions. Welcome back. Since the start of the pandemic, more women than men have gone into business for themselves. According to a survey commissioned by California-based Next Insurance, more than twice as many women than men started their own companies in 2020. The report also found that women are more likely to start a business from scratch and do so without a business partner. Despite growth in the number of women launching their own companies, they face more barriers to success than their male counterparts. With me now is Grace Rodriguez, CEO and Executive Director of Impact Hub Houston. Grace, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, let's get right to it. Can you tell us a little bit about the background of Impact Hub and then what services they offer?
Sure. So Impact Hub Houston is one of over 107 Impact Hubs in 64 countries around the world.
Oh, okay.
And we all work together in supporting people who need help designing solutions and building better businesses for a more just and sustainable world. Impact Hub Houston specifically works to empower change makers and help people connect with resources, mentorship, different organizations that can help them launch and grow their impact venture. And then we also work with a lot of different organizations to develop more effective innovation ecosystems to support social entrepreneurs.
Okay, wonderful. So as we mentioned, women were more likely than men during the pandemic to start their own business. Why do you think that was?
Well, if you look at Bloomberg's reports, they did an article recently, they took data from Gusto and GoDaddy, and they found that in 2020, more of the businesses that were started were in retail, leisure, and hospitality. So you think of a lot of people who are in those industries tend to be women, a lot of women of color, in fact. And so as they were laid off, because many of those types of businesses struggled during the first year of the pandemic, a lot of them decided to launch their own catering services, food-related businesses, and so on. And then in 2021, if you look at, there's a huge spike in more people starting professional services businesses. So you think about, again, women who might have also opted to stay home with young children, having to, a lot of times the child rearing, child care responsibilities fall on the women in the family. And so a lot of women were opting to stay home, take care of their kids, do at-home education, because you know a lot of the schooling had to happen at home as well. And then for those women who either still wanted to stay home, or some of the women who may have had pandemic babies and wanted to stay home the following year in 2021, started their own professional services agencies and firms and practices. So if a variety of reasons caused more women to start their own businesses during the pandemic.
Okay, so what are some of the common barriers that women are facing in the business world?
Where do I begin?
Okay, your top five, maybe.
Women have made so many strides, right? And women are just incredibly resilient. Going back to the earlier question, fundamentally, across the board, throughout the pandemic, the reasons why women were really starting their own businesses were for what I call FAR: flexibility, autonomy, and resilience. And if you think of, being able to create your own schedules, depending on whatever your familial responsibilities were, because it's not just child caring, but also sometimes parental care for women. Having autonomy, being able to create your own schedule, determine who you wanted to work with, and then resilience, being able to add more income to for your family. Those were really reasons why women started their own businesses. So when you think about the barriers that they have to face with the flexibility, autonomy, resilience, they have to also find their own resources. Right now they can't rely on a monthly income or a salary to pay for what they're starting or pay for their expenses. So funding is the primary need that women have, whether that's crowdfunding, microloans, loans, angel investors, venture capital funding. Across the board, women need funding. They also need to know where to start. So a lot of entrepreneurs come to us at Impact Hub Houston saying, I have this idea for a solution, or I have this problem in my community that I want to solve. Where do I begin? And so going to finding organizations to help them, finding people to mentor them, finding people to just help them answer questions that they have along the way, along their entrepreneurial journey is incredibly important. Building networks. A lot of times people will say, if you need funding, go to friends and family first. A lot of times women, especially women of color, don't have the types of friends and family networks that can afford to give them startup funding. So building networks is another important challenge.
Okay, so any other advice you have for someone, actually a woman, that is trying to start her own business or has just started it and may have run into a couple of hiccups along the way?
For a woman who's starting her own business and is facing some of these challenges, I would say first, find somebody to help you. And you can go to a lot of different events. The great thing about the pandemic is that so many people were creating virtual events. So if you have to stay at home for a lot of your responsibilities, make sure that you attend a lot of these different events from the Office of Business Opportunity, the SBA, SCORE, Impact Hub Houston, and building that, I call it a small army of advisors.
Yeah.
And people, so if you have somebody who can advise you on legal, somebody who can advise you on business strategy, somebody who can advise you on your finances, and maybe financial planning so that you can make sure that you're also saving some for a rainy day. There are so many things that women need help with, and having a large network of support is going to bring you through this pandemic.
Okay, so I'm hearing, there's that saying, it takes a village to raise a child. You're saying it takes a village to help a woman or a minority or anyone, really, any entrepreneur succeed in their small business.
And grow a business, exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
wonderful. Thank you, Grace, for joining us today.
Thank you.
Just ahead, a good business idea is only an idea without the money to get it off the ground. Find out how the Houston-Galveston Area Council is helping small businesses get the funding they need.
Workforce Solutions has 28 convenient locations across the greater Houston area. Stop by a location today so they can help you succeed and celebrate with you. Rolando, a young father and high school dropout, was tired of dead-end jobs. He turned to Workforce Solutions, and his career advisor was able to help him climb out of his employment rut. He entered a training program and was hired by the employer. Rolando aspires to obtain his GED and become a certified journeyman. Andrenise felt the calling to be a nurse. However, securing the finances for her education seemed unobtainable. She sought the help of Workforce Solutions, and she received the financial assistance and guidance she needed to succeed through nursing school. She is now a labor and delivery nurse.
One of the biggest obstacles people face when launching a new business is access to money. Unless you have a prior track record, banks are often wary of lending money to help you get started. That's where the U.S. Small Business Administration and the Houston-Galveston Area Local Development Corporation come in. Overseen by the Houston-Galveston Area Council, HGALDC partners with local banks to offer government-backed loans for small businesses. Omar Fortune is Senior Manager of Business and Economic Development at HGAC, and he helps facilitate this program. Omar, thank you for taking the time to join us today.
Thanks for having me, Caitlin.
All right, let's get right to what the Loan Development Corporation offers.
Yeah, so the Houston-Galveston Area Local Development Corporation is a certified development company through the Small Business Administration. We have 504 loans that we offer through the SBA. We have loans that we offer through the Economic Development Administration and loans through our local government partners. We also provide technical support to businesses that are going through the loan process, such as help with applications, help gathering financial documents, those sorts of things.
Okay, so can you help clarify what the SBA offers loan-wise? Because I know it may be a little confusing for some folks. They may immediately think of disaster recovery loans, and so if you could just, give us some of those details.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. The Small Business Administration does provide disaster loans. Okay. You think of Hurricane Harvey, you think of the COVID pandemic, and one of the most popular loans that they have was the Economic Injury Disaster Loan, or EIDL, during that pandemic, or through Harvey. And so that is one thing that they offer, but mostly what the SBA does, they partner with other financial intermediaries to offer loan programs. So most of the time you have banks that provide 7A loans, which is like a working capital loan. You have certified development corporations such as us. We provide 504 loans. They have microloan programs that banks and other financial lenders offer, and they have their Community Advantage program. So it's a number of programs that the SBA sponsors, but they only really do loans for disasters.
Oh, okay. Okay, good clarification. All right, so let's talk about, generally speaking, what are some of the requirements to obtain a loan?
Yeah, good question. So for the most part, you have to be able to repay the loan.
Okay.
It is a loan. It is something that needs to be paid back, right? So the financial institution is taking a risk when they provide that capital to the small business or entrepreneur. So it's important that the businesses have that repayment ability. That means that they need to be able to generate enough revenue to cover their expenses, and then be able to service any additional debt through the loan that they're taking out with the financial institution. So that's one of the major requirements. Other requirements, the business needs to be basically a for-profit organization for us. Can't be a nonprofit. Religious organizations wouldn't qualify for any of our loans. It has to be within our region. And so as the HGA-LDC, we offered loans within our 13-county Gulf Coast region for most of our loan programs. For our SBA 504 program, it's throughout the entire state of Texas. And it has to be in an industry that is an eligible industry for us. There are some ineligible industries, but for the most part, as long as it's not illegal, immoral, or otherwise an insane idea, it's something that we might fund.
Okay, so what are some advantages that your organization offers to folks who are just starting a business?
Yeah, so most entrepreneurs and business owners, when they're interested in actually getting a loan, the first place that they go is to a bank, right? And why wouldn't you? That's where who you know of for financial resources.
Right.
But oftentimes banks are large. They have a lot of staff. There's a lot of red tape, and you can become more of a number. And that's no knock on our banking partners. They do a fantastic job. But programs such as ours, we're a lot smaller. We have a much more intimate setting. We can handhold business owners and entrepreneurs as they go through the process. Also, as the Local Development Corporation, we are a part of HGAC, the Houston Galveston Area Council. And so we're connected to a council of governments that has a number of different resources, such as our Workforce Solutions Partners, which is under HGAC. So we can connect businesses to workforce solutions services, such as talent development, recruitment, on-the-job training services such as that. We also offer a national cooperative purchasing program through HGAC where businesses can become vendors and market their services, products, and goods to local governments across the country.
Okay, wonderful. So let's say someone is approved for a loan. What can the loan proceeds actually be used for?
Yeah, great question. So loan proceeds essentially for our program are used for working capital expenses. So working capital can be anything from payroll to paying your lease or your mortgage expenses, utilities, marketing, even if you wanted to procure like a long-term contract or things like that. We also provide loans for fixed capital purchases. Fixed capital is like land and real estate, those types of things. So if you're purchasing the land, if you're acquiring a building, renovating a building, purchasing heavy equipment with the useful life of like 10 years, we can provide a loan for that. And those loans can go up to $5 million plus.
Wow, okay. So any other additional advice you have for someone who's looking for a loan and wants to use some of the services your organization offers?
Don't be scared, right? I think a lot of people hear the term loan, they associate it with debt, obviously, and no one wants to owe anybody anything, and I completely understand that. However, when we're talking about small business lending, you want to be able to leverage and use other resources as opposed to your own resources. That way you're able to grow faster, generate more revenue, and expand your business, and essentially reach the heights that you're trying to reach.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that terrific information and for joining us today, Omar.
Not a problem. Thank you for having me.
And that does it for this week. I hope you have enjoyed learning all about the workforce system in Southeast Texas as much as we have enjoyed sharing it with you. I want to recognize our production crew who have worked so hard to bring this series to you. Tim Langford and Michelle Castro are the executive producers. Jordan Miller is our technical director. Rafael Rojas, Joshua Brown, and Xavier Rivera are our technical producers. Michael Bogan is our technical assistant. To learn more all about Workforce Solutions, please visit our website at www.wrksolutions.com. I'm Caitlin Espinosa. Have a great day.
Hello, my name is Juliet Stepetch, and I'm the Executive Director of Workforce Solutions. On behalf of the Gulf Coast Workforce Board and the wonderful team members at Workforce Solutions, I want to thank you for joining us over these past 13 weeks for your career, your choice. We are grateful for the opportunity to help our friends and neighbors navigate Houston's vibrant job market and building strong careers, bringing together experts to share career advice and introduce you to the rich resources across our region. It's been a joy and a pleasure for all of us. Making this TV show has been an incredible journey that would not have been possible without the support of KHOU TV, specifically Dale Lockett, Director of Local Programming and Community Marketing for KHOU Channel 11 and Quest Texas 55. At Workforce Solutions, we know that the Houston-Galveston region is more than just a place on the map. It is a home of millions of people and the location of countless businesses, both large and small. Each day, our Workforce Solution team members work to elevate economic and human potential by fulfilling the needs of the businesses and people that we serve. It is this interconnected relationship between people and employers that keeps our region bustling with activities and so rich in promise. We've been honored to introduce you to the amazing guests, including our awesome Workforce Solutions professionals who you can meet with for personalized career advice online, by phone, or in person at one of our 28 full-time or 10 part-time locations. I'll leave you with this. At Workforce Solutions, we believe that everyone deserves the dignity of a job and a rewarding, satisfying career. Whether you're a young person just entering the workforce, someone looking to upgrade their skills in pursuit of advancement or a better career, or an employer looking to solve your human resource challenges, Workforce Solutions is here for you. Again, I thank you for joining us on Your Career, Your Choice. And as they say in TV, that's a wrap.